you want to be a winner, not only have to understand how to win, but to understand how to consistently win.
We're the freaking New York Jets, and we're built for this shit.
That's our brand of football. If you want to be a winner, not only have to understand how to win, but to understand how to consistently win.
We're the freaking New York Jets, and we're built for this shit.
That's our brand of football.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Nick Shine Show. I am your host, Nick. You were the awesome chat. Thank you for being here with me. We got a good one here for you tonight on our last Sunday night Shine Time in prime time before the NFL draft. We've made it. It's draft week. Bring on the 2027 mocks. What quarterback are we getting? Let's start the conversation tonight, folks. But you know what we're doing. On the way in, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you're watching on X, come on over to YouTube. Subscribe over here. Would appreciate it. Also, it's draft week. The raffle is this week. We have the Curtis Martin mini helmet, the Don Maynard photo, the Vinny T and the Chad P. Oh, I'm sorry, the Curtis Martin football. The Vinny T and the Chad P mini helmets. Entrants are there on the bottom. $10 a raffle ticket. $25 gets you 3. You can Venmo, Cash App, PayPal. Any questions, ask. I got a good guest, a new member of the Nick Shine Show family coming on in a few minutes. We got Paul Fiore with us. Looking forward to having some conversations with him. I talk to him on Twitter quite often. We go back and forth. And I think you're going to like this guest if you haven't seen him already. He was on Jake a couple weeks ago, and I was listening to that at work, and I was like, this is a guy I want to talk to. He's very logical and rational with his takes, and you know how much I love that. But, folks, to kick off the show, Kyle Clifton becomes a Shiner. He joins YouTube as a member. Thank you, Mr. Clifton. I appreciate you, good sir. Guys, don't forget, we will have another raffle going off in May at some point, and all of these raffle entries will be for that. Anything that you contribute on YouTube will be in our next raffle. Sunday nights, raffle entries are always doubled. But first, you know what to do. Take the volume, turn it up. It's Blitz BK. Let's get this party started.
It's got
Gentry covered in football!
Any day, any night, we all shine, bro. First class shine time, the Nick Shine Show. Anytime on YouTube, if you don't know, the Nick Shine Show, the Nick Shine Show. Dim the lights, but it's still bright as Nick time. Day or night, this is his prime, it's Nick Shine. Proud fan, well defined, to get in line. Toe to toe with any show, he only got 9. The best show on YouTube, bro, is easy. We talk Jets all day, please believe me. Subscribe, you just gotta click a family. We not a click in 3D. You can see a beautiful DP. We see through the fake teams and the tea leaves. So we pray for a coach and a QB and hope that we close to the top in the new league. A toast to the host with the most, Nicky.
Who, me?
Any day, any night, we all shine, bro. First class shine time, the Nick Shine Show. Anytime on YouTube, if you don't know, the Nick Shine Show, the Nick Shine Show.
Fantastic.
Fantastic indeed, as always. But ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I've posted Paul's Twitter account and his YouTube link in the description of this video. So go over there, show him some love. Let's welcome him in. What's up, Paul? How are you, my friend?
Hey, Nick. I'm well. I'm looking forward to finally getting to the draft. It feels like an eternity since the combine and all of the noise that's gone on in between. I just can't wait for this thing to get going.
0-7 seems like so many moons ago, my friend. That's
Really
when the draft talk started. I drove out to Cincinnati with my son, and we were talking about who we're going to draft, who could be there in October. So very, very happy that we're getting to this draft. let's get into it, man.
Yeah.
The big debate in Jets Nation.
Mm.
Where are you with the number 2 pick?
You know, it's funny. I was talking about this earlier. I can't remember a year where I've gone into a draft when the Jets have a pick this high, where emotionally I'm not like as invested in this pick as I have been in the past, where I've got like my guy, it has to be, or I'm going to be pissed off. So I'm in a place where I have my preference, but I understand if they go elsewhere. So I'm an Arvell Reese guy for a multitude of reasons. I think the ceiling and what he can do, his versatility, I think you need that type of player in your defense. I think the Jets in general are supposed to run a multiple front defense. If you're an offense and you have to pay attention to a guy who can play all over the field, I like that type of player. And I like this is not a criticism of Bailey as much as it is. I feel like Bailey is a better version of Will McDonald, and I don't see Bailey becoming the Myles Garrett, and I think if he's not that guy, to me, if I'm not getting a franchise quarterback, give me the defensive player who has the potential to become like that game record type player that everyone's got to pay attention to.
Yeah. And I did not bring you here just because everything you said, I agree 100% with. But we align with a lot of our takes. And picking it too, I want the guy with the highest ceiling. I want the guy that could be talked about with Garrett and Bosa and all these other game changers and Parsons. I like Bailey. And if we kept Jermaine Johnson, I would probably be leaning Bailey. But with Will McDonald being the other guy, I want someone who complements him. I want someone that isn't the same. I don't want 2 bad run defenders out there who will get shredded off the tackles time and time again. So for all the reasons you said, I'm Team Reese. I know this has been beaten to a dead horse on many channels. So since we agree, we'll move on quickly from this one because something else you and I agree with. This draft for the New York Jets will be solidified and identified what they do after number 2.
Yeah.
Now, give me your take on that. I know we were talking pre-show, but
go
ahead. What are your thoughts on the other picks?
So it's interesting because you have I see a lot of Jets Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, leaning to this concept of you've got to get up, maybe move into trade with the Commanders and go get your wide receiver. Like they have their guy, right? Because everyone says, go get your guy. I've been seeing it over and over. And I'm like, who's their guy? Like, I'm trying to figure out who their guy actually is when you see me make that statement. But you have 16, 33, and 44. So you have 4 picks in the top 50. I have a very strong lean and preference that a team that won 3 games needs really good football players. And trading assets now, when you're not a player away from contending, doesn't make sense to me in a draft that you're overvaluing the top 3 wide receivers because the general consensus is the draft is weaker than what would be in a normal draft. So it's not that I don't like those players, because I do. I like Tate. I like Tyson. I like Lemon. Do I like them so much that I would go from 16 to 7 and give up draft capital that I need to get good football players? No, I personally right now I'm in the position of let the draft come to me, let the board come to me, and allow me to play the chess pieces. Let me be the guy that gets calls looking for teams that want to move up to make moves. I would love to acquire additional draft capital. I think it makes a lot of sense. I just look at this Jets team and I say, aside from Garrett Wilson, who is my game changer / game wrecker on either side of the football? Like who? Who is it?
You're hoping Minkah Fitzpatrick still has a little bit of gas in that tank, right? I mean, he's done it. He's been a big game changer, but you can't rely on that for the next several years. You need more game changers, offense and defensive side of the ball. I've been a very big proponent of Will McDonald, saying that if games are close, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Cincinnati, that's a guy that was changing the game late in the game. When offensive linemen were getting worn down, he was getting home. He was making plays in the fourth quarter. Problem is, we didn't have a lot of leads to allow him to do what he could do best. So when I'm looking at 16, for me in this draft, 16 is dead man's land. I'd rather be at 13 or trade back into the low 20s where I can get a CJ Allen or I can get one of the defensive linemen if you want to go that route. You could be missing out on the top 3 receivers. You could be missing out on Sadiq. You could be missing out on Vega. You could be missing out if they want to go Simpson. You could miss out on Simpson. 16 to me is just you're dead center in the draft. There's not – this isn't the draft to be at 16. A couple years ago, it was a really strong draft. The year that we had all 4 picks and we took Jermaine in the 20s. I thought that was a good draft to be there in the middle. There was multiple receivers that went. I think Olave went right around 16 or maybe a little bit before. But that was a good draft to be at 16. I hate being at 16 here. You have to hope for some crazy shit to happen. Like, we need to hope offensive linemen, there's a run. You got to hope Vega, Freeling, Fano all go early. You got to hope the corners. You got to hope 3 teams take corners in order for the receivers or Sadiq to fall to us if you want to stay put. Now, at 33, give me the biggest offer.
Yeah.
Give me the biggest offer. That's it. Like, shop it and work your board and get the biggest offer. I'm okay with taking 16 and 44 and going up because now I can take 33 and move back. If you can get 2 elite players, do it. And if you're at 16 and you're sitting on there, don't be John Idzik. John Idzik sat there in 2014 and did not move once with the Idzik 12. And when Aaron Glenn was at the owners' meetings, he said, when you have this capital, you can be aggressive and go get your guy. That said to me, if someone's there, we're going to go get him. Now, if it's a weapon with the Giants just making that trade yesterday, you might have to go a little bit higher because I thought the Bengals were the perfect team to trade with to go get a weapon. But now you might have to go higher to get ahead of the Giants to get that guy.
And so you're willing to say, all right, so that's what I was saying last night. I think that there's leverage now on the Jets because of that trade. So the Jets would have to potentially go 16, 44, and 103. You doing that?
For who?
I don't know. Let's go.
Styles? Yeah.
Pick your guy.
Styles slides? Yes.
Okay,
if
so
it's Styles, if it's Downs, I'm Tyson over Tate, but I don't know if I can trade up for Tyson. I don't know if I could give up multiple picks with the injuries and knowing how the Jets' luck is.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Because here's where I'm at. I'm okay with a small move up if I wanted to go from, let's say, 16 to 12, get in front of the Rams if I needed to get my wide receiver, right? So I see a scenario where I think Tyson's going to go. I think people need to see him healthy. It sounds like he is. I think he's the one guy of those guys. And it's not that I don't like Tate and I don't like Lemon. I like them both. I feel like Tyson's the guy that has the upside of a wide receiver, a true wide receiver 1. And if he didn't have an injury history, he'd be a top 5 pick. And so for me, I can see him being the first one off the board personally. So if the Jets are sitting there at 16 and the Rams are at 13, and now, I don't know, Lemon's at, we're at 11. Lemon is still on the board, and now we're going to 12. If we have to move to 12 to maybe get Lemon or Tate, if it's a small move up 4 spots, I would be open-minded. But again, here's my like, the problem for me is I don't like, if I get to 16 and the 3 wide receivers are gone and Sadiq is gone, well, I have a feeling one of the guys that I really, really like is there. So maybe it's Vega. Maybe Downs fell. And if that didn't happen, then how can I trade out of 16 to go into the low to mid 20, get to the mid 20s and then maybe get a Cooper or a Boston, someone like that, and get myself into the 3rd round of the draft. So my mindset going in actually is I want to maximize how much I can do in the first 3 rounds. Because as much as I don't think this is a high-end draft at the top, I think there's depth in the first few rounds.
I love 25 to 50. I think 25 to 50 for value is the sweet spot of this draft.
Right. And so to your point, like I'm at 6. So that's why I'm almost like I'm sticking and picking it. Well, I'm like, let the board come to me. If we get to 16, either I have guys there that I want, or someone's going to want to trade up. Let me listen. Same way I'm at with 33. I'm just struggling. I'm mentally struggling with moving up for Lemon, who I think is a good football player, who's not great to me. Carnell Tate, who is truly a complimentary wide receiver 2 and not a wide receiver 1A. And Jordan Tyson, I would do if he didn't have the injury history. And that's my problem right now. Like, actually, the guy I like the most in a lot of ways is Sadiq, just because I think he's got like this freakish athleticism, and the speed that he can bring at that position is just incredible to me. But I mean, there's multiple philosophies here. I just worry that like a team that won 3 games last year, who has good draft capital and has really good draft capital going into 2027, if they focus on building the foundation with really good football players, you have your swings in 2027. That's just my mindset.
That's fair. That's completely fair. I'm looking at the board and I'm looking at the draft value chart. Let's say the Giants love Tyson so much that they take him at 5 because they don't want to risk teams like the Browns, the Saints, Washington, who all could use weapons, taking their guy. So say they take him and say, well, we'll settle with whoever lands at 10, whether if it's a Downs or whoever the case may be. So now to get to number 7, say, it's 1,500 points. R16 is worth 1,000, 44 is worth 460, and then you can throw in like 140 for 36 points. And then, you can throw in the late 4 instead of the early 4 to get there.
Okay.
If there's Sonny Styles sitting there, say the draft goes Mendoza, we take Reese, Bailey goes 3,
Yep.
Love goes 4, 5 goes Tyson,
Okay.
6 goes either Sadiq or an offensive lineman or another receiver. Say they take Tate, who cares? And Styles is staring you at the face at number 7. I'm calling. If you can get Reese and Styles in this draft and get 2 defensive pillars for the future, I think that is a phenomenal haul. And I think it's worth losing 44 to get 2 centerpieces of your defense. And not only Mike These Nuts, have a good night, brother. Thank you for popping in. Appreciate you. Welcome everyone in the chat. If you're watching, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Also, all Paul's information is in the description of this channel. His YouTube page and his X page are there. And while I have you during this quick Nick Shine Thought commercial break, Thursday night at the Woodbridge Brewing Company, we'll be raffling off these items. They are right here with me. I picked them up today. Curtis Martin football, Don Maynard with the epic sideburns photo, Vinny Testaverde mini helmet, Chad Pennington mini helmet, and we also have some bonus items for those of you in attendance on Thursday night. So read on the bottom, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal for these entries, and all the entries that are on the show will carry over to our next raffle at some point in May. So if you can land 2 blue chip players, I think it's worth it. It's very rare that you can get 2 top 10 picks. And if you can somehow get 2 top 7 guys and have we need foundational players, right? We traded 2 of our foundational guys away. If you can trade those 2 and get these 2, still have 33 where you can get the haul and move back and have 4 of the top, let's say 45, depending on where we're picking next year, and the 3 ones are untouched, I'm happy, man. I'm happy because you have immediate impact players in theory, and you also haven't touched next year's treasure chest.
So I should pull it up because we're having this conversation, and you probably have it up, but if what you're saying, so your perspective is, so Styles falls and now the Commanders are sitting there and Styles is there, but in your scenario, Downs is also there.
Yeah, they're both there. So
Styles, Downs, and I think you had said 2 of the pass catchers will still be there too, right? Because in your theory, right? So now I'm looking at it, I'm like, I've got 4 guys that I really like and I'm sitting at 16, and now I've got the Commanders here. Like I'm part of me says, well, how much further will Downs fall? Because I get the Styles play, and I like Styles a lot. I get the positional value issue here.
Yeah.
Caleb Downs is an unbelievable football player.
Oh, agreed. I'd have no issue if he was the pick either, if he was a trade up.
What if, I mean, but my point would be, what if he's falling at that point, who's going to snag him? Like, there's a world where he actually falls out of the top 10.
I thought Cincinnati was the perfect place for Downs. And
Right.
if the Giants go Tyson at 5,
You think they'll take Downs at 10?
I think so. I think if Styles or Downs there, Harbaugh is just sitting there smiling that we didn't take one of them at 5 and we got one of them at 10. I think that's the perfect world for them because he knows the value of having the elite do-it-all safety and the middle linebackers. He's had Lewis, Mosley. They drafted Patrick Queen, but he knows the value of getting that middle linebacker and getting an elite middle linebacker who's ready to go.
And now here's the thing. Now you got a bunch of offensive linemen that are still on the board, if that's happened. You still have a couple of pass catchers that we rank highly, if that has happened.
Mm.
And so you get past 10. If Downs has been taken and Styles has been taken, now you're in a world where you've got 5 picks in front of you, a bunch of offensive linemen, a couple of pass catchers. It's kind of why I'm letting the board come to me because I hate to sound like a little bit contrarian here, but I think there's a world where somebody's coming to me at 16 that we're not expecting.
Okay.
I just do. I don't know. I could be crazy.
Listen, I'm not against it. If we stay at 16, that's the nerve-wracking part of being a fan on draft night. Seeing a guy that you want them to get and then having a hope that he gets there. And then he goes, say, at 12, and now you find the other guy you're clinging on to, hoping he falls to 16.
Well, do you have the order in front of you? I don't have it in front of me right now, but
the draft order.
So after the Giants at 10, what do we have?
It goes Miami, Dallas, Rams, Ravens, Bucks.
Okay. So the Rams are going to be after a pass catcher for sure.
Everything just froze on me.
Am I there?
You
moving? See me?
Do you see me moving?
Yeah. Yep.
All right. So I'm moving, but my StreamYard just froze. All right. Do me a favor. I can't even move. I got to close this. I got to hard crash this. There's a super chat from Cisco. Take that question. I got to reboot the browser. I'll be right back.
Okay. So Cisco, what is my dream draft scenario? What does our first 4 picks look like? Great question. And I get made fun of because I don't know how many mock drafts I've done, but it's been an insane number. So I think obviously for me, it's easy to say Reese at 2 because we don't have to worry about that, right? Ideally, but I'll tell you this. In my dream scenario, I have Tennessee moving up and the Jets going to 4 and taking Styles at 4. That would be my dream scenario just because I'm getting a bunch of capital for that. But let's just assume it doesn't happen. So if we just do a stick and pick situation, I say for me, it's Reese at 2. Give me one of the pass catchers at 16. And when I say one of the pass catchers, I say that intentionally because I love Sadiq and I put him right on par with a Lemon. So like to me, if Sadiq is sitting there at 16 and Lemon, Tate, and Tyson are gone, I would jump all over grabbing Sadiq at 16. I don't care that we drafted Mason Taylor last year. That to me does not preclude me from making that type of move. I don't believe Mason Taylor is a top 15 tight end future state. Maybe he becomes one, but I don't see that upside for him. Sadiq is a unique skill set. So Sadiq at 16. And then 33 and 44. I love Rodriguez. I think we need a linebacker. I think he's going to be there hopefully at 44. I think it makes a lot of sense. And at 33, this might sound funny, but if I got 16 at Sadiq, I might double up and get one of the other wide receivers at 33. Whether that's Boston if he's there, or Concepcion if he's there, one of those guys. If not, I'm entertaining offers at 33 to trade out, come down a little bit, and get back into the third round because I think there's depth in that draft. I love certain guys like Halsey. I mean, I want to get a safety in this draft. So it's hard to say the ideal world. A perfect world for me is I'm trading out of 2 to 4, just because I think that you can really play the board really, really aggressively if that happens. I just don't know. Does Salah Reese enough to move up to 2? I don't know, but that would be the dream scenario.
All right.
And then someone said McNeil Warren. I'm a big fan of McNeil. Kyle Clifton. Yeah, I love McNeil Warren too. He's a hell of a football player.
Yeah, looking at some of the names. I'm a Georgia guy, so C.J. Allen coming in if we miss out on Styles, I would love that. McNeil Warren, if we miss out on Downs, I would love that. I think that Aaron Glenn has to get guys who are difference makers. We saw last year with no interceptions, you need difference makers, whether it's guys who can get to the quarterback to force errors, or it's the guys on the back end that can capitalize on the errors. We need game changers all across this defense. So,
and Nick, every time I look at this, because I think there's a lot of depth in the first few rounds, I do think you're going to have guys there that fit exactly what you're talking about at different levels, right? So, like, I love Rodriguez at 44 if he's there. Like, to me, that's a home run pick. The Jets need to remake their linebacker room, right? That's why I would be all in on Styles if I can come down from 2 to 4. I'd be all day picking Styles at 4, right? And then I've seen scenarios where Zion Young's available at 33. Well, if I've traded out of 2 and I don't get my pass rusher 4, I might look at that at 33. So it's interesting. There's a couple of ways you can go, but there's multiple. Like, to me, there's multiple branches for the Jets to acquire long-term impact starters with these first 4 picks.
Absolutely.
Which is why I'm trading out of 16 to go up and give up one of those picks. That's my problem.
That's fair. And that's completely fair. I don't care how you mix and match it. Put the puzzle together. If you go, let's say, for example, Sadiq is there at 16, and then you get McNeil Warren, and then you get Rodriguez. That's great. Say if you get C.J. Allen, and then you get a Stowers as your weapon in round 2, and then you get one of the Bells. Okay, like, you're putting pieces together. It doesn't have to be the exact names, right? Like, everyone always talks about, I reference this a lot. You never see a perfect bracket in the NCAA tournament, but you also never see a perfect round 1 picked either. Like, it's very rare that hits, and that's only 32 choices. There's always a Cole Strange who pops up out of the blue, right? That everyone's like, what the fuck? No one had this. There's a Will McDonald. For all the mocks that Jets fans do, the millions of mocks that get accumulated by Jets fans, no one had Will McDonald. So there is always a surprise. And the more surprises that happen, whether it's the Steelers jumping us to get Ty Simpson, helps another player slide down the board, right?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, that's right.
Cisco, thank you for the super chat, man. I appreciate you. He said, what about the 44th pick?
So again, let's see. So if we assume we take a pass catcher at 16, right? I'm at 33, and I'm really, really, really trying to trade out of 33 and acquire picks, go down a little bit, and get a third round pick. I'd love to find a way to get back in, but if not, if we're at 44, what have I not addressed? Have I not addressed safety yet? Because if I haven't addressed safety, that might be available, and there's a few guys in there that I really like. Does McNeil Warren fall? Is Halsey there? If not, I'm a big Rodriguez guy, and I think he might be there at 44, right? So, like, if Rodriguez is there at 44, here's my thing. Your gap between 44 and 103 it's a long wait between picks.
It is.
So that's why, like, I am really of the mindset that 33 is like a real prime place to trade out, which is why I would not take Ty Simpson if he was there at 33, right? And I think there's a good chance he might be. because I want to trade out and I want to have something between 44 and 103. Because I just think
Agreed.
I think there's a lot of talent again in that first 3 rounds of the draft that really have impact. But right now, if I was just gun to my head, 44, I really like Rodriguez a lot. I think Jacob Rodriguez is a really good football player. I think the linebacking situation is not good right now.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't trust Sherwood having a bounce back year. I don't think he fits Glenn at all. But I think Rodriguez
Which is wild that they signed him and didn't even let him hit free agency last year. They saw him on film and said, we need that guy. And then you don't run the scheme that you have that he was good in.
It was baffling. The things they did in the first offseason were kind of shocking when you think about it. Like, it was almost like they came in thinking we've got an actual decent team and we're going to keep it together and we're going to try to win with this team. And they just made moves that didn't make a lot of sense. They pivoted very quickly, which made sense. The Sherwood extension was rich and shocking. I mean, I don't think most of us even expected him to come back, including the beat. No one thought he was coming back.
Yeah, and they didn't even let him hit the market. They did that deal before free agency even opened. So, all right, I got another question for you. We've discussed round 1, right, a lot, and we're getting into conversations of round 2.
Yeah,
I think everyone expects to get an impact player at 2, whether it's Reese or whether it's Bailey. 16, you expect to still have a solid contributor, right? But when you want to build out this draft, and you mentioned that gap from 44 to 103, is day 2 just as important, if not more important, than day 1? Because these are where you can get your guys on good, cheap contracts. These are the guys who can step up and can play like round 1 guys. That's how you build out a roster. When you get guys in 2, 3, and 4 who come in and can become stars in the league, that's how you become a top of the league team. So how are you weighing this? Like, yes, round 1 is going to be exciting. We're all going to go nuts, whether it's 2 or whether it's 3 picks if we move up. But day 2 is a chance to really fill out this roster and get day 1 type of players.
Yeah. I mean, if there's a criticism of what happened last year with Muji, right? And I don't have the same criticism as some, because I think he was dealing with the scouting team that had already done the work under Douglas's regime.
Yeah.
So I was happy with Mason Taylor, fine, Membu, fine. Like, that makes sense. There were some picks after that. You're like, and then, next thing you know, we're drafting, Arian Smith, and it's like just a throwaway pick, and Tyler Barron, throwaway pick, right? And these aren't supposed to be throwaway picks. You should be able to find guys that can develop into rotational, good football players that you need for depth. And so, again, it's why my mindset is I don't care where I'm at. If it's 2, I'm looking to trade out. If it's 16, I'm looking to trade out. If it's 33, I'm looking to trade out. Why? Because every single time I look at a board and I'm doing my mocks and I get past 44 and I don't have a pick between 44 and 103, I see a slew of guys that I would love to have had a pick to go get. I think we need safety help somewhere in between that. Like, if you don't get the safety, you're going to wind up missing listen, you can't solve all your problems with the first 4 picks. So if we just play it, like, go chalk and say, all right, we get Reese at 2, at 16, we get a pass catcher. At 33, I don't know, you get, I don't know, pick what you want. Pick say you get a guard at 33, and at 44 you pick the safety. Well, you desperately need linebacker help. You don't have it, right? You have multiple areas that team on the defensive side of the ball is just still got gaps all over the field. You still need another corner. Like, we don't like everyone. I don't want to waste corner draft capital in the first or second round, but Brandon Stevens is gone after this year. And then what do you have after behind that? You have maybe some talent, but you don't know. And there's guys that will be there. So you're right. Day 2 and 3 is how you're building for positions of need. And the Jets don't have enough between 44 and 103, which is exactly why I want to find a way to get picks there.
For some of the names I'm on Tankathon and their mock, it has us taking Basantis at 44. Okay.
Yeah, I like him.
But here are some of the names after that. This is just round 2. Rodriguez, Hill Jr., Lee Hunter, Jadarian Price, D'Angelo Pons, Jake Golday, Malachi Lawrence, Kalen Rutledge, AJ Halsey, Connor Liu, Chris Bell,
Yep.
Trotter, Derek Moore, Mike Washington Jr. So those are just the names in the rest of round 2. If they can find a way to get there. And then early in round 3, Eli Stowers, Zachariah Branch, Grayson Halton, the D lineman from Oklahoma, Malachi Fields, Jennings Dunker, Darrell Jackson, Jake Slaughter, Kamari Ramsey, safety. There's a lot of talent. And that brings us up to 84, LT Overton at 84, who would be a great, Richard Seymour type at defensive end in a 3-4. Big, powerful dude. Garrett Nussmeyer's at 85. So if you want, Logan Jones is there. Deontay Lawson's there. There's so many guys in 2 and 3 that we've done so much work on.
Yeah. That
there's good value there. So if you can maneuver back and if you can close that gap without taking 103 and moving up and keeping 103, and listen, if you got to do it, if it doesn't work out the way you want, you got to have a plan to the plan to the plan come the NFL draft, because things are going to happen. Yeah. Teams are going to do things that you didn't project.
I like the depth as much as what you just went through. There's so much depth. And again, it's funny. The top 15 is probably weaker than what you would like. And then there's that fall off from a round 1 perspective. But the depth is really good. And there are guys that will develop and become really good starters or football players in the NFL. And that's the Jets have failed to do over and over again, is find those guys and have, find the offensive lineman that you can get a little bit later in the draft that actually becomes a dependable starter. Like, when have we done that? We haven't done that. And so I look at him like, we have 2 picks in the 4th round. So I'm like, my mindset is I'm not looking to trade up in round 1. I'm looking, how do I do more in round 3? And so if I have to get rid, if I have to package, like if I got my 2 4s, I think one of those guys, I think we have opportunities to move back into round 3 by packaging some of that. Right. And so I'm in the mindset of get me in the first 3 rounds as many picks as I possibly can get, because I like the depth of this draft and I don't love the high end, but I really like the depth.
Agreed. So let's pull this up real quick. 103 is worth 88 points. 140 is worth 36 points. So if you package those together, you can get up to 93 with the Rams, 92 with Dallas. So, but that's if you don't throw anything else in there, right? If you don't throw a pick in next year to jump up, if you really love somebody, because that's a lot. If you pick at 44 and you have nothing left, I think there's a lot of talent coming. Now, granted, and the theory being that you used all 4 of your picks, you got 4 guys in the top 44, so you're loving your draft. But
which is why if you can find a way to go from 2 to 4, and I don't think it's impossible.
I'm 100% with it, because I placed a $30 bet.
You're gonna have a home run draft. I mean, every single time I've ever seen that mock.
I'm gonna have a grand slam draft weekend, because I bet $30 that Jeremiah Love would go second if the Titans trade up, and I got it at plus 12,500 odds. So it'll pay $37.80 if Jeremiah Love goes second. So I hope to God, when we're on the clock at 2, the green bar sprinkles away, the Carolina blue pops up, and it's the Titans coming up to get Love, because they don't want to take the chance. I will do cartwheels, backflips. I will jump on the train tracks at the party and just go streaking.
I get it. That would be unbelievable.
A couple super chats to get to. Six Ring says, would you hate Styles at 2? I wouldn't hate the player. I think Styles is going to be an outstanding NFL player. I would hate that they didn't work the board and maneuver, even if you got to take a little bit less of value. If Styles is your guy and Styles is number 1 on your draft board, I would hate that Muji didn't maneuver, even if you got to undersell the pick a little bit to get more to then take Styles. That's what I would hate, 6 Rings. I would love the player. I am very big on trading up from 16. If Styles is there, come pick 6, 7, 8, even 9 if the Chiefs are willing to deal. But I wouldn't like it at 2. I think I would love the player. And listen, when he gets on the field, and we start having Demario Davis mentor him, and we hear all the stories coming out, and come June 1st, they trade Sherwood because they say we can't keep Styles off the field. We're going to move Sherwood. And I don't know if you know this, trading Sherwood before June 1st is like a massive, like $34 million in dead the next couple of years. It's only 2.5 each of the next 4 years for only 10 million total.
Yeah.
So trading him post June 1st would be the way to go. And if you get Styles, listen, I'm not mad at adding elite players. And I think Styles is going to be tremendous, especially under the tutelage of Demario Davis. But I don't know if I would like it at 2, to be completely honest. You?
Yeah, I think that's true. I really like Styles. I just feel like if your guy is Styles, like if you're the Jets and you're like, we want Styles, we love Styles, it would make sense in a way that there's been smoke around Bailey and others, because maybe you are trying to find a partner to trade out. I just think to me, I would much prefer, if you want Styles and desperately really, really want him, find a way to get down to 4 or 5. Probably 4 is really to me, it's 4. Because I don't know if he gets past the Giants at 5. I could be wrong, but I love Styles, not at 2. I wouldn't be mad. I would just be like, did they work the board enough to try to get down out of 2 to get him?
Yeah, that's great. Oh. This StreamYard today is really.
I had issues earlier recording. Yeah, it was bad.
Everything is black bars now going across it. I'm going to bring up Kyle Clifton super chat, and then I'm going to refresh this again. Kyle, thank you again. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for becoming a member of the channel before. Folks, don't forget, Sunday night, Shine Time and Prime Time. All raffle entries are double tonight. Tonight is the night to gift and show the love. He says, if no true X wide receiver in the top 44, then Lance, Stribling, Ted, gone by 103. For those who think we need 2 or 3 pass catchers.
I think it's just a statement.
Yeah. I'm reading it. I'm rereading it. That's why I got quiet there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm somebody that is okay. I don't want to force a pick. If it's Cooper Jr. at 16, because the other 3 and Sadiq, the other 4 are gone, I'm okay. I'm okay with Cooper Jr. If you come out Reese, Cooper Jr., and then say you get Basantis or CJ Allen at 33, and then you get someone like Halsey or Pons at 44, I'm okay. I think that's a great haul overall. And I'm okay with Cooper Jr. I'm also okay if we don't take a receiver in round 1, because you're going to use a premium asset next year in 27 to get the quarterback and receiver and bring them in together.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to find a way to get.
I got to refresh this. Go ahead. I'll be right back.
Go for it. Yeah. So what I would say is, I'm not forcing it to get the wide receiver, but I think we'll find a way to get one of these guys that can be the wide receiver 2 at 16 or 33. And at least go into the season with not having AD Mitchell being the 2, because it can't be. It's funny. I like AD Mitchell. I think he's got talent, but AD Mitchell is a typical wide receiver 3 or 4, where he flashes occasionally. You see something, you're like, man, this guy has got it all if he could ever put it together. And then he never really truly puts it together. That's your typical wide receiver 3 or 4. So like for me, it's like, if you can get your hands between the 16th and 33rd pick or maneuver around the board a little bit, somewhere in rounds 1 or 2, you need a wide receiver 2. Somewhere in rounds 1 or 2, you need to get a wide receiver 2, or at least get Sadiq. If Sadiq is somehow falls to you at 16, I would run the card up for Sadiq at 16 if he fell to me, just because of the difference maker and the matchup nightmare he might be for someone. And then I'll just figure out my wide receiver 2 after that. Like, to me, if Sadiq is there at 16 and the other 3 guys are gone, I don't care. I am running the card up for Sadiq. The only world that doesn't happen is literally what happened to me today in the live mock that I did. I set myself up for this, and I looked at it and I go, Sadiq wasn't Sadiq. Sadiq went 15 in my mock. I'm sitting there at 16. And it was Tyson and Downs. And I'm like, son of a bitch. What do I do? And I could not pass up on Downs at 16 in that scenario. It was just too good of a value for that player. I just think the Jets somewhere along the way here in the first or second round need their wide receiver too. And Kyle, I don't disagree. They're not true X's. I just think that the reality of the scenario is we're not going to fully build out this roster this year. So getting one of those guys as a wide receiver to complement to Garrett, while not perfect, still allows you and affords you the opportunity in 2027 with all of the draft capital we have. And only unless you are sitting here believing the Jets are somehow going to be a 7, 8, or 9 win team, I don't. I think they're a 5 to 7 win team, probably. You can go get your X next year if you don't have a true X in this draft. So, like for me, it's like, are we? Here's what I'm trying to figure out: are we extending Brees or not, or is he just going to play on the tag, right? And then I'm gonna get, I'm gonna go after my 4 quality starters in the first 2 rounds this year, build out my foundation, and then I'm making my swings next year. I'm getting my franchise quarterback next year. And if I need to go get myself another wide receiver or a running back, for that matter, in next year's draft to build my offense, then so be it. I'm okay with going out and building my offense. Like, I've run multiple different mocks where defense kind of reigned supreme in this draft just because of the way the board fell. Then I've run other ones where I've gotten 2 pass catchers, including Sadiq. And, I was thrilled. I think there's so many multiple ways to build it, but patience is what's going to, I think, allow that to actually work. When you start getting desperate for guys and you make, moves up, and you really start pulling away that draft capital, it makes it more challenging to play the board. And then 2027, you're still going to have a bunch of holes you got to fill. That's just where my head is.
And looking at the X receivers coming out in 27, you got Jeremiah Smith and Cam Coleman right away at the top of the board. And then there's some other guys who they're projecting. TJ Moore from Clemson to have a good year. He's 6'3". Ryan Wingo from the Longhorns is 6'2". Charlie Becker from Indiana, 6'4". I don't know if he'd be around one guy, but he could play the perimeter, I think, at the next level. So there's a lot. You got Ryan Williams, who's a smaller guy at 6 foot, 175. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I think if you can come out next year, and I don't care what you have to trade, if you can come out of next year with your quarterback, and I'm just someone who has at this point right now wants someone who's got an M name, whether it's Manning, Moore, Mensa, or Mestamaker, and then you get Jeremiah Smith or Cam Coleman, I think that's a tremendous draft. And now you're adding that to Garrett, and you're adding that to a Cooper or Sadiq with Taylor. I mean, who cares what you do with Brees at that point? Like, you let Brees go and get a running back in round 2 and be good. Get a center in round 3 and put all of your efforts next year into building this offense that can grow together and become one of the top offenses in the league. So I'd like to see them do that this year with the defense. Don't take a pick just to take the position is basically what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
who maybe 4 years from now will still be on the team and deserving of a second contract. That's where I'm at with this draft.
100%.
All right, something else we got for you guys tonight. We're going to do some hot takes. Some of these you may have heard me drop before. I'm going to try to think of some different ones. But, Paul, I'm going to let you go first. Give us one of your hot takes for the NFL draft.
My first hot take, maybe it's not so hot. I mean, maybe it is. It's funny. There was when Ty Simpson was being talked about, guys like Mike T talking about how the Jets have to do everything they can to get him. There's a lot of guys talking about him being, no matter what, someone's going to draft him in the first round. I think Ty Simpson will fall and be there at 44. And I don't think the Jets will draft him at 44. And I know there are some that would. I would consider it. But if I'm sitting at 44 and I don't have anything between 44 and 103 for some reason, right? And as a good example, let's say Jacob Rodriguez is there. I'm taking him over Ty Simpson. Because if I didn't like Ty Simpson at 16, right? Then if I passed on him at 16 and I passed on him at 33, why am I taking him at 44? It's just, he's not my guy. So if my board is such that I don't have, like, if I have more picks at between 44 and 103 where I can still fill my roster, I would potentially consider it. But I just think Ty Simpson will be there at 44. I think he's going to fall further than people think. That's my first hot take.
I think if he doesn't go to the Steelers in round 1, you're going to see the Geno Smith free fall or the Will Levis free fall that we saw in previous drafts. I don't think teams are going to draft him just to draft him, but I'm curious. Listen, if the Cardinals like him, LaFleur is going to go put his career on, not career, but he's going to tie his first head coaching job to Ty Simpson, a 23-year-old inexperienced quarterback. I would be very surprised. I know there's a lot of talk there, and I know young offensive coordinators believe that they can develop and mold guys. So I'm hoping Arizona jumps us to get into late round 1 and takes Ty Simpson, or I hope that I'm going to be nervous wreck if 16 and we're on the clock at 16 and Simpson's available. I will be a nervous wreck.
I don't think
coming to the draft party, I will be a nervous wreck. I'm telling you, as long as I don't hear it, I don't want to hear it.
That would be shocked if they drafted him at 16, and that would probably piss me off as much as anything that they could possibly do. I actually want him sitting there at 33, and I want a team to believe that he's their guy so the Jets can trade out at 33. And so I want to be wrong on my hot take so this way somebody can grab him at 33 and we pick up draft capital.
That would, you know what? I want him gone at the end of round 1 so I don't have to hear about it for 40 or for 20 fucking hours. I do not want to hear about, the Jets have Simpson. The Jets. I don't want to hear it. Every Jet show that'll be going. I'm off on Friday. I'll be doing a show during the day. I do not want Ty Simpson talk. I want the Cardinals to jump up to the Patriots, the Seahawks, whoever, the Texans at the end of round 1 and take him just so he's not there, so we don't have to do that discussion for a full day.
We'll see.
All right. My first hot take, some of you may have heard here before. Sadiq is the first pass catcher drafted. I think when you look at his skill set, his speed, his size, his ability, the way the league is built on mismatches, I think this guy is the biggest mismatch in the draft. Sure, he has his issues with drops. He's got to refine some route running at the NFL. But when you have that athleticism, and you have either Deshaun Watson trying to make a comeback, or you have a young Shador trying to build a career, what's the old adage? A running back and a tight end make it easier for a young quarterback. So Shador is still young, and let's not forget Dylan Gabriel. We can't write him off out of that race there. He won it to begin with, and then he got injured. So, to have a guy like that, I think you take the best player available. And when you have the mismatches and you stockpile the talent, there's nothing wrong with that. I see Clancy saying they have Fannin. Yeah, I mean, look at what the Patriots did with multiple tight ends, with Hernandez and Gronk. If you couldn't match up against them, you could run the ball, you could throw the ball, you could do everything when you had those matchups because it was about creating the advantage for the offense. Now, I'm not putting them on that offense on that level, but
right.
I do think that Sadiq could be the first guy to go. Now, if the Browns take an offensive lineman, Washington with Jaden Daniels would be a great match. The Saints, if a receiver hasn't gone yet, if Sadiq's your highest guy on the board, they're just a team that has to take the best available player, in my opinion. They're not one player away. They are 30 players away. That's a great team for us to trade up with the Saints because they need more picks.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, we'll see. If your hot take happens, then my next one would probably happen.
So. Look at us. Doing teases in our first show together. I like it. Go ahead.
So I would say I believe, and this is why I am, I'm playing the board conservatively, I guess. I fully believe, as I look at the board and I look at the talent and I look at the team needs, that one of Tyson, Tate, Sadiq, or Lemon will be available at 16. And a lot of people keep saying no, and they keep putting Omar Cooper Jr. And Boston. And I have nothing. First of all, I like Boston probably more than most people because I think the Jets have been dying to have someone like Boston. They don't have that guy. When was the last time the Jets had that guy? Like, he's a big, what is he, 6'5", massive target. Like, you want to talk about
Marshall.
A guy.
Right, you got to go back to Brandon Marshall and then Braylon Edwards.
Yeah, and it's like, so to me, like, I don't have an issue with a Boston. Like, there's issues there, but I think I would take my swing on. My point is, I think one of those four guys, when I look at the 15 ahead of us, I should say 14 because Mendoza is going to go 1. I have a hard time believing all four of those guys will be gone by the time we get the pick at 16.
Yeah, you got to hope, like I said earlier, you got to hope there's a run on corners. You got to hope maybe there's a run on safeties where Downs and Thieneman both go before they get to us. You hope somebody jumps us thinking that, they have to jump us to get Simpson. That could be fine. And then you hope at least 3 offensive linemen go. And now you're creating it with the edge rushers, with the linebacker. Now wide receivers are falling.
Yeah, and worst case scenario, if those guys don't fall, like if there's not that run that you're talking about, what's going to happen is the Jets will be sitting there at 16, and one of those offensive linemen that people covet will be sitting there. And guess what? It's a great opportunity to trade out now into the 20s and grab a 3rd round draft pick and wind up with a Boston or a Cooper. So that's why I'm just like, I'm okay at 16. I'll wait. I know it's not, we have a little bit of a difference of opinion there, but I'm looking at him like, something's going to happen that's going to benefit me at 16.
Okay. Listen, I like it. I'm not necessarily saying we have to jump. I'm just not surprised if they do.
Yeah, I get it.
Glenn's comments that you can be aggressive, you can pinpoint your guy, and you can go get them. The Jets don't have to hear no. The only team that will tell them no definitively is the Raiders at 1.
Right.
Anyone else, I think there's a conversation. What can we do? How can we get this done? It's a matter if the Jets will want to pay it. But the Jets can control this, and if they say we need this guy, they can go get him. And that's the beauty of trading away Sauce and trading away Quinnen and reloading is now you can control the draft and you can be the big dick in the room. Muji can be swinging it from side to side this draft and show everybody.
True. It's true.
This isn't Jake's show. I'm not sponsored. We could say whatever we want here. All right. Now, my next one, which I've kind of just alluded to, Chef Muji will cook. If you're a channel member right now, use your Muji emoji, which is tough to say. You got to slow that down. It's a tongue twister. Muji will cook. Whether it's going up, whether it's falling back at 16, whether it's 33 and jumping into round 1 because you want to get that player, or if it's working the phones from when night 1 ends to day 2 starts, and even when you're on the clock and maneuvering, and then just loading up on day 2 and early day 3 picks, I think Muji will put on a draft masterclass for Jets fans. I really, truly believe that. And I think he is going to solidify himself as one of, if not the best GM we've had in a very long time with working the draft. So,
yeah, I think, listen, everybody, a lot of these guys, the Badlands guys who I love, they tie these guys together a lot. Joe and Connor, they really do say they're kind of attached to the hip. If one goes, they both go. I actually don't align with that because I feel like if Muji has a home run draft and we all walk out of there going, man, they acquired a whole shit ton of talent. And Glenn just clearly is not a good head coach. I don't see how you don't give Muji the opportunity to remain in the position. I just don't. And there's a way to separate these two. You acquire the talent.
100%.
You can say Glenn was involved in the acquisition of what he would want in a vision. But a head coach's job is to take that talent, put it together, and make it executable on the field. And if he's not doing that, if they're getting out schemed, he doesn't know what's going. Like if he's not preparing the team properly, and you'll know this now because he is running that defense. If they are constantly, being beat because he is just out strategized and is not prepared properly, but the talent's there. I mean, you move on and you keep Muji. So I listen, I hope your hot take's right. And I actually hope Glenn does a good job. I'm not one of those guys rooting against Glenn like some people. But I think Muji has given us some hope that that's a hot take that could come true.
And just to add to that, Glenn could be giving us a great gift if he doesn't make it to year 3. Having the positional flexibility of guys who are multiple fronts doesn't pigeonhole us into a 3-4. Everyone we brought in has played in both types of fronts. So if Glenn doesn't work out, we've had to do the overhaul. We traded Vilma away when we went from Herman Edwards 4-3 with Ted Cottrell to Eric Mangini. We had to go back to Rex, and then we had to change back to Bowles. Like, we've done the change over on the roster and the pieces in it so often. But if we have to make the move from Aaron Glenn after next year, a new defensive coordinator could come in and say, dude, this is easy to work with because I got guys who can fit both schemes. We could still run a hybrid. I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll see.
I know you got to go in a few minutes. Give me your last hot take for the draft, please, sir.
This won't be a surprise because I've been signaling it the entire show. It's a theme of my entire draft strategy. I do believe the Jets will trade out of 33 and acquire additional capital in the 3rd round. I think there's no way that Muji sits there and waits from 44 to 103 and does nothing. I don't see a world where the Jets don't have a draft pick between 44 and 103. And 33 is the most logical pick to trade out of. And yes, I think, Nick, you will be sitting there between rounds 1 and 2, stressed beyond belief that Ty Simpson's sitting there at 33. And everybody in their world and their mother is going to be talking about the Jets and Ty Simpson. And I think that Muji, if he's a good GM, will trade out and let someone else pick Ty Simpson and acquire additional capital.
Yeah, there's a 20-point difference between the Jets pick and Arizona's pick with 33 and 34. Man, I would rake them over the coals for that.
I was about to say those 20 points are worth a lot more when a guy wants the quarterback.
When it's a quarterback and we got other teams calling us, and word will be, we will spread word throughout the league to Schefter and whoever else. Hey, we're getting multiple calls about this pick. Teams are interested in Simpson. You can get a better haul. You try to get 65 from them. You try to get, you throw in one of your 4s, your late 4, but you try to get 65 from them and say, you want to move up one spot, you give us the 3. We'll give you our late 4. And that's the price. And I would love that because now you have 34, which you could still trade out of because now you could be getting offers for 34, right? That's the Muji masterclass we could be watching. You move back one spot and then you do it again for another haul. So I really think that I think Muji has the opportunity, man.
But that's where drafts get won and lost right there. That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Give us more chips. Listen, I've always said this for years, right? I've said this for about 20 years. You need more tickets in the lottery that is the NFL draft.
Yep.
There's 100%. Times where you jump because there's can't miss players, but if you can get more picks in round 2 and 3 and early 4, I'm not going to be mad at that.
No way. I agree. 100%.
All right. I'll let you go.
Well, this has been fun. I appreciate it, Nick. And then the chat's been lively, which is awesome. I enjoy, Black Gypsy and I see eye to eye on Sadiq for sure. But, listen, I appreciate it. And let's hope we have stuff to celebrate after this Jets draft for a change and they don't do something that we sit there and go, what was that? Please do not give me a reason to question my existence as a Jet fan more than I have already.
Well, then I'm going to drop my 3rd one while you're still here, okay?
Go ahead.
My 3rd hot take, and this might be the hottest take ever because it never happens, Paul. Jets fans will be happy.
Hey!
I don't know what's going to happen, but that would be the hottest take of all time because it never happens.
Would be great, for
Paul,
sure.
It's a pleasure having you, man. Let's do this more often, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Nick. Take care, guys.
Have a good night, buddy.
Bye.
Yeah. How often do you see Jets fans happy? We might have some. Let's look at and a little bit of breaking news. Next Sunday, this time, we'll have a guest on the show. We'll have another first-time guest for you next Sunday. Frankie V will be here next Sunday night reviewing the Jets draft with us, and we'll get his takes. Will we have a happy Frankie? Will we have an upset Frankie? What's his take going to be with the Bailey Reese war that's been going all over on social medias? Frankie will make his Nick Shine Show debut next Sunday night, and I'm looking forward to that. Should be a really good one. Big fella with a super chat. It's not an emoji. It's an emoji. Very well done, big fella. Also, I don't know if we can confirm or deny this, but a little birdie told me Thursday night at the Woodbridge Brewing Company, the Bat Fella will be there signing autographs at a table. Is this true? Rumor has it, out on the streets. Tanky will be sad Sunday night. I don't think you could be sad if you take Reese. And he's been adamant about that, Clancy. You got to give him that. He prefers Bailey, but he's not shitting on Reese with it. He just likes Bailey with the past production. I don't think he'll be pissed at Reese. You can't get pissed if you get a player like Reese. There's a lot of other things you could be pissed about, but I don't think you could be pissed with that player. Also, anyone who clicks onto the show and sees this banner at the bottom, he's going to be, what the fuck is this guy talking about? No, we won't. Right away, people are getting upset when they see that. But folks, hit the like button. Subscribe to this channel if you have not already. Thank you to Paul for being here. Again, his YouTube link and his X link are in the description of this video. Go show him some love. Subscribe to his network. Also, we only got 33 likes, and we got almost 50 of you watching here right now. Can we rectify that, folks? I want to drop the call-in link, but we got to rectify that. We got to get up to 50 likes before we could do that. Now, something I want to talk about. This New York Giants trade. I mean, Joe Sheen has not been a very good general manager. But, bravo. You took a 29-year-old guy who has a reputation with Giants fans and the media for not being a hard worker last year, taking plays off, and you flip that for the 10th pick in the draft? That is a very, very job well done. Very good. Job well done. Cisco, great question. You're a mind reader and a great contributor to the channel. Here's how it affects us. The Bengals weren't taking a wide receiver at 10. Could they maybe go Sadiq and take a weapon and just build the greatest arsenal of all time? They could have. I thought that was a team that Downs was a great target for. But now with the Giants, I think this allows the Giants to take Tyson or Love at 5. I don't think Love gets there. I think Love goes to Tennessee at 4. But now if you're the Giants at 5, you can go Styles and get your middle linebacker. You can go down to get your safety. Or you can take the guy, Tyson, that you had dinner with just hours before, the night before, they had dinner at Arizona State with Tyson, and the next day they make the trade. So I thought they have a young quarterback. I think the Giants are thinking, okay, let's add to this offense now. Let's give Dart every chance to succeed, and we can build our defense over time. And maybe you go Tyson and Love. Maybe you go take Tyson and you get an offensive lineman at 10. If you get Vega and Tyson, how are you not excited as a Giants fan? You got that offense with Neighbors, Tyson. You bring in Vega, Anthony Thomas and Vega next to one another. I'll go run for 1,000 yards. Hell, I could walk for it. You might not even have to run. So it's a great job by them. But I want to flip the other side of this. what the fuck are the Bengals thinking? If you're the Cincinnati Bengals, you're better with Caleb Downs for the next decade. You're better with Vega keeping Burrow upright and healthy and in the game week after week than you are a 29-year-old defensive tackle whose body could break down and fall apart any day now with that size and that mass. I don't get – the Bengals are not a defensive tackle away from being a contender again. Paul O'Brien, it's funny that your YouTube icon is orange as you're making this comment, but yes, 100% you're right. That was a very, very questionable move. I don't get why you would give that up and get nothing in return. It's a head scratcher for sure. J-Boy, I referenced this earlier, but 4 days until the 2027 mock start. There's no doubt. I see you scrolling through. Give me a thumbs up when you have the one you like. But folks, as always lately, this guy's been batting leadoff. And when you're the number one seed, you have to. Ladies and gentlemen, Kyle Clifton. How are you, buddy?
The number one seed no more.
I know. You are the one seed, though.
Yeah.
You were the overall one.
So, yeah, I mean, it's very exciting. Like Lou B, it's like Christmas morning for us children here. I'm not going to be upset if somehow we would go back a little bit and get Styles. Guy's terrific player.
If we go back from 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if we come up and grab him and Reese both. But the deal has to be structured in such a way that it makes sense, right? Like, how do you do it? Do you do it with like pick swaps in the second round, a third round next year, and a first rounder in 2028? Like to go from 16 to 6 or 7? That's something that I would love. But I don't think a team is going to pass on Styles for that deal. That's the problem.
Yeah. I mean, the only way I could see it happening is if the Titans come up to 2 and they take Love. They don't take the chance of the Cardinals taking him. They love him that much that they jump up to 2, take it. I win $3,800, buy dinner for everyone at the Woodbridge Brewing Company. And then at 3, say Reese goes. And they don't want to pair Bailey and Will together because they're just not very physical players. So you go Styles and you take the best player. And now at 16, you can maybe go Keldrick Falk and put him opposite of Will McDonald. And you can solidify your front 7. You have Will and you got Demario Davis and you got Styles and you got Falk on one end. And now you have a front 7 that can rush the passer and also be very fucking physical against the run, something we haven't done in a very long time.
We can just cherry pick guys. If we want to go on another route, we can. If we don't want to take an edge so early and we want to come back a little bit, then maybe we come up from 33 and we take Zion Young. Like this, there are so many options.
Yeah.
There's so many options.
Don't get me wrong. I love Reese. If we stay at 2, I want Reese, 100%. But if there's an offer on the table you can't refuse and you got to work the board, you do it. And there's still good options to have. I don't think it's a throw your hands up in the air. Like you're not giving up on a Nick Bosa. You're not giving up on a Von Miller. You're not giving up an Aiden Hutchinson or a Myles Garrett. Like we're just trying
to get good players in the building.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you can add 2 more pieces to this puzzle with a guy who was a little bit less of a talent or a little bit less of a ceiling, I'd be okay with that.
So is this a rumor or is the big fella really going to be in the house?
I mean, he hasn't denied it. So, I mean, there's a 2-minute rule on denying the truth when I put it out there, and he did not deny it. So, no, he's going to be in the house. It's just the big fella will be there. I don't know if we can commit to the bat fella being there.
I understand. But I'm acting as if I'm coming directly from work on Thursday. So.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to it, man. And it's going to be fun. We have a good time. I put the reservation in today. I have table reserved for 25 outside. If we have to add more, I can add more. It's an outside patio. So if everyone's not structured together, the main table for 25 is going to be under the patio. And then we'll have the audio on. I made sure all of this today. The main TVs are there. There's 3 big TVs that'll have it on. They'll have the basketball game on. The draft will be on audio, though. I confirmed to them if I'm bringing 25 people, if not more, we need to have the audio on for the draft. And they told me, okay.
And especially the type of people that care about this kind of stuff. And I know we're few and far between, but we are of the same mind with it. So
yeah. And if the Knicks audio is on and the Knicks are home, I cannot listen to the fucking organ player. I will rip the TV off the wall. I will gladly walk across the street to the police station myself and hand myself in. I cannot listen to the fucking organ player do the defense chant 7,000 times a fucking game. But
very good.
And if people don't fit under the patio, it's supposed to be nice weather, 70 during the day, 51 later overnight. So it'll be nice, cool breeze. There's more tables outside than under the patio with TVs out there too. So we should have a good group and looking forward to it.
Yeah, I am too. I'll see you on Thursday, Nick.
Take care, buddy. We'll talk soon. Again, for any of you in the Central Jersey area or willing to travel, Woodbridge Brewing Company, Thursday night, forgive me. Let's see here. Let's bring this up again. Thursday night, we're doing some raffles at the party. The plan is, as long as the Jets don't make trades, to do it after 5, 10, 15, and 20. We have the Curtis Martin football, Don Maynard photo, Vinny T mini helmet, and the Chad Pennington mini helmet. All of these items are right here with me. I picked them up today. We'll have some bonus items there also for you guys in attendance. However, those are not super chats or gifted memberships. Information scrolling on the bottom of the screen right here. Venmo, $10 an entry, $25 get you 3 entries. So, and then we are taking entries in person that night as well. What's up, big boy?
Hello there, Nicky. I see you're going to be in a good mood on Thursday. And what do you got against the organ player from the Knicks going?
I told you I don't want to listen to it. You had your chance, and you bring up the one thing I can't stand: the organ player at Madison Square Garden. Hopefully, there's some organ players at the party on Thursday night. What's up, Lou? That's a segue to bring you in, huh? We got some organ players.
One thing I can't stand, Nick, is the fucking Giants. Last night I was at dinner, and that trade came across my eyes turned. They rolled back. I fucking turned white and started having like, these motherfuckers. They're gonna get our wide receiver with their second pick. I can't believe the Bengals.
I think they're gonna go wide receiver with their first pick, Lou.
Okay, so then it's just another one off the fucking board. It's not gonna make it easy for us.
We can trade up. And it's not trading up to top the Giants. It's you can trade up and go get your guy.
Okay, so who do we trade up for? If they would take Carnell. I don't think they would take Tyson over Carnell. I mean, I know they
had
like
dinner
Tyson.
with Tyson the night before the trade.
Yeah, because Tate could come off the board. Let's just say
had dinner with Tyson Friday night. They were out in Arizona and had dinner with him, and then Saturday they make the move to get another pick.
Well, they had breakfast with Love, Nick, and no one's talking about that.
I'm just saying.
Why is it different? Why is it different?
It could be. They could go Love if he's there, and they could go Tyson, and they can give.
No,
they could try to build their offense around a young quarterback.
They fucked us. Period. End of sentence. I
don't think so.
I do not like this Giants having 2 picks. I hate the Giants. The 2 best picks to me in this draft are 5 and 10, because 5 you could get someone without anyone bitching that's positional value, and 10 you could still get a stud. There's so many great players between 5 and 10.
I'll take 2 and 8.
Possibly be upset with.
I'll take 2 and 8 when the Jets trade up to 8 with the Saints. Book it, ladies and gentlemen. We don't have the note taker here anymore, Boomtown, watching every second of every show. Also, for those of you here, please keep track of what did you learn. It's up to you now, ladies and gentlemen, to carry that at the end of the show.
Beast, take notes.
I'll take 2 and 8 because I think we're going to jump. I really do.
Yeah,
and
but
I
the
think the
difference
Saints
is
are a
that we have
team
to-
that needs to build picks, and I think the Saints are a team that will gladly move back and take 16 and 44.
But Nick, 8 we have to pay for. They have 5 and 10 is what I'm saying.
They just paid for it. They just created a massive hole in the middle of their
I
defense.
understand, but that Sexy Dexy was leaving, and that was it. He made it very clear. We don't have 8. We have to go out and pay for 8. They have 5 and 10. They are right. They could trade.
Yeah, but that's part of the posturing, though, man. That's part of the draft. Is if you want to move up from where you finished, you got to pay, and if you want to fall back, you get paid. That's part of the game.
Look, someone's Clancy is saying they paid for 10, but the guy wanted to leave. So, with that being said,
he wanted money. He wanted the contract. They didn't want to give a 29-year-old. Sounds similar to us, right? Send the 29-year-old defensive tackle away. Listen, I'm not mad. I'm not worried about what the Giants are doing. We got to build our own shit.
Oh, I understand this. That's what I'm bitching about right now. I just hope. I really am counting on Muji because look how many people are in this chat right now and all these podcasts with so many people relying on this guy right now. There's so much vested in this. This has been since October. We've been waiting for this moment. I don't even know. To me, it was almost like the Buffalo game where I was like, fuck, I can't wait to the draft. This is crazy. It all comes down to this, and we need to come out victorious here. We cannot go into this with 4 incredible picks and not come out with what we were hoping for all this time. All these trades, all this talk, all this bullshit. It's game time now. This is our obviously this is our Super Bowl. It is Christmas. To me, it's fucking everything.
Yeah, I mean the Giants took advantage of a dumb fuck. That's all it comes down to. The Cincinnati Bengals are not a defensive tackle away from being contender. Could they be in the number 10 pick Vega away? Sure. You could keep Joe Burrow on his feet more. You can protect him more. Yeah, that could help you be a contender. But giving up the number 10 pick for a 29-year-old defensive tackle when you need so much more? No. You would have been better off keeping 10. Hold on. You would have been better off keeping 10, trading back to a team like us and getting 16 and 44 and loading up than you were this trade. So the Harbaugh took advantage of an old division rival, man. Kudos to him.
I think the Browns offered them like a second-round pick. Their second-round pick they offered for Sexy Dexy.
Yeah, listen, for a guy who did not have a good year, and Giants fans are thrilled he's gone. Giants fans that I talk to are thrilled he's gone. And to get the 10th pick and not have to give a pick up with it, listen,
did they get anything else?
We call Muji a chef all the time, right? You got to give Joe Sheen credit. He made a great deal. That's part of the league, man. There's going to be winners and losers in trades. And who knows? Giants could pick a guy that flops and is out of the fucking league in 2 years. They could pick the next Evan Neal, and he never fucking works out.
To me, they're going to leave with a Love or a Downs. I'm just...
Well, I'll be honest, and this isn't directed at you. I don't give a fuck what they do. I'm worried about what we do. And they were still. It's not like another team got added in front of us. We're still 2 and 16. We're not 2 and 17 now because of this move. You know what I mean?
You think they use one of those picks for a receiver?
I think it's going to be Tyson. I think they love Tyson. Whether they get Tyson at 5 or they gamble on waiting till 10, I think Tyson is their guy because you have that meeting and the next day you make the trade to get that pick. You can go Styles or Downs at 5 or whoever's there if it's Love. And then you can go Tyson and you can move up a little bit. You could sit there and take Tate or Tyson or, whatever. But I think they're in a position where they have a young quarterback.
Yeah.
There's a lot of questions about the arsenal around him. Mm-hmm. And this is a time where you build around that kid. And if you can do that, you do that. Now, if they go one offense, one defense, there's nothing wrong with that because you need Styles or Downs, and then you need Tyson or Tate. So whatever. Good luck to them, man. I hope they win because it's for me. I do enjoy watching the Giants when they're good as a Jet fan. I love watching both of us. Like I'm sick of the both of us being on at 1:00 because we're both so awful. I think New York football is fun when the Jets and Giants are both. When we were going on our playoff run and the Giants were going on playoff runs, football Sundays were so enjoyable in the New York market. One would be on at 1, the other one would be on at 4, and the league knew we couldn't put them on. And then we both started sucking, and the league was like, yeah, for years, you never had the Jets and Giants on at the same time. And then they both got awful, and the league was just like, yeah, fuck this. We're putting you both on at 1 o'clock. We're burying you on the schedule.
So I hear what you're saying with all that, but what I felt immediately was, damn, the Bengals weren't going to take a receiver. That was the first thing that popped in my head.
I don't think that factors into them. Well, no, they were never going to take a receiver.
That's what I'm saying. So the odds are more likely that the Giants would take a receiver with one of those picks than the Bengals, obviously. So that's where it jumped out at me as that was the downside for me in my head. Not really what the Giants would do, but the Bengals, what they were going to do is not take a receiver. So, and to be honest with you, if you're Joe Burrow, regardless whether they were going to take a lineman or not, he's still pissed about that line. Right?
I'm sure. You had a chance to get Freeling or Vega or Fano, and you fucking give it up for a 29-year-old fat fucking defensive tackle?
Well, how about trade back?
How does that make Burrow's job easier?
They could have traded back the Bengals and left with, 2 offensive linemen if they really wanted to.
Absolutely.
All right.
They could have worked the draft. They could have had somebody like Downs fall there and get Downs. They could have traded out to somebody like us who wanted to jump the Dolphins and the Rams to take a receiver. They could have got so much more for that pick to build around. You know what this tells me? They think they might lose Burrow, and they're panicking. It's a panic move is what it is. It's a panic move to try to change your culture overnight instead of being patient and doing it the right way.
Because at worst case scenario, they could have took a Vega at 10. Let's say some of these other guys went higher.
That's not worst case scenario. To me, Vega could end up being the best player in this entire draft class. I think that highly of Vega. I think that Vega,
I love him.
3 years from now, if you're calling him the best guard in football and he's better than Quentin Nelson and all these other guys, and it would be a no-brainer that I think he can get there.
I think it was just a crazy day, but I just really hope that the Jets come away with 4 stars. I guess that's the here. And I definitely want to see another center. I just don't like the way Myers snaps. I've been saying that for a while. I really would love Logan Jones. What round do you think he would go?
Logan Jones?
Mm-hmm.
I think he goes after 44 and before 103. I think somewhere in that window that we're not at right now. But we can get there.
Solves a lot of problems because you have with him on the team. Let's say I think he would beat out Myers, and then you just have these other guys that can move around. I just think it would be like really good to have him, man. I think it's our weakest link. And he's really good. Logan Jones is really, really good.
I prefer Connor Lew.
Either one of them.
I wouldn't sleep on Connor Lew being the pick at 44. He fits their mold. He's 20 years old. He fits the tells that were happening last year. If you take Reese, he's 20. And then you get Connor Lew, he's 20. You took Membu at 20. You took Mason Taylor at 20. That's the only tells that I was able to pick up last year, is that early in the draft, they went very, very young with guys that they can develop and grow. I wouldn't sleep on Lew being the pick at 44. If they miss out on a Basantis, I don't think Lew is an awful pick. If you go get a center with your 4th pick in the draft, which is normally the 4th round, I have no issue with that.
If they trade back 33, I think they'll definitely go an offensive lineman in that range, right?
Listen, I'm not surprised if we take – I'm not going to say we have to get one of these positions. I just think if we get any of these positions, it's how it's going to work out. An outside linebacker, potentially a middle linebacker, a safety, a defensive end, a wide receiver, a second tight end, potentially a running back. We have so many needs. There's no wrong pick. Just hit on whoever the fuck you take. That's more important. Not the who, it's how. Like, you better hit on these guys.
So if Sadiq is gone and the 3 receivers are gone and you're at 16, I would, if you could trade back to like 20 or something like that and Cooper or Boston are on the board, I mean, that's the way to go. Get anything you can to trade back. Anything.
I'm not a Boston guy.
A lot of people like him.
I know. It's not. He doesn't get separation, and I got married to that ideology when Dom C was on. And said he had a very difficult time separating in college.
Okay, so trade
It'll
back
get
and
more
get
difficult.
Concepcio.
I'd rather just take Cooper Jr. If now it depends who's there. Is Vega there? Is Thieneman there? Is Downs there? Like who fell? Is Mansour Delane there? Did he fall out of the top 10? Like who's there? Like I can't just say trade back. I got to know who fell.
I would love to leave this draft with Downs or Tate, to be honest with you, as our second like stud. Meaning our pick 2 would be someone like Arvell, I guess. But if we could leave with also Tate or Downs, I think that is huge for this team.
Yeah.
Huge.
Look, I'm telling you right now, and I cannot wait from your text from the pit because I know you're going to text me, and I'm sure we'll be messaging that night. We are trading up. That's my promise to everyone. We're picking at 2, and we are going to pick at either 7 or 8. And don't be surprised if it's Styles, Downs, or Sadiq that we go and get.
Listen, above 10 is going to be a stud no matter what. And maybe someone falls. I don't know.
Yeah.
But to me, it was always about above 10, right? I'd love to get one of these guys.
Yeah.
I want to
It's going to be fun, man. It's going to be fun.
Crazy.
I can't wait to do the shows where we know who we got.
Yeah. Do you think we trade a
brother.
player during the draft?
Am I what?
Do you think we trade a player during this draft?
Do I think we trade a player during? I think Sherwood would be the most likely to trade, but you probably do that with the post June 1st. I know you can release a player with a post June 1st designation. Chat, help me out. Can you trade a player with a post June 1st designation, or does that just get? I'm not sure, but I think Sherwood is the most likely the next Jet to get traded.
If they took Bailey, would they? I know they've spoken about keeping McDonald, but obviously they would trade anyone. If they take Bailey and got an offer for McDonald during this draft, do you think he goes?
No, because you could have traded McDonald and kept Jermaine. Why trade both? Now you're just creating another hole.
I just keep on hearing that Bailey's so similar to him. Having both of them would be, I guess, cool, but then you just run the ball.
Can I give you some advice, friend to friend?
I'm going to go nuts, Nick. Anyway, so
I know you are. That's why I want to give you advice, friend to friend. Don't marry yourself to players. Marry yourself to the ideology that the general manager is going to do his best to make the team better. And if you embrace that mentality instead of marrying yourself to the player, we have to have that player, you're setting yourself up for heartbreak.
Well, the good news is I definitely, as you know, my fandom, I believe in Muji. I really do. I think he's going to do the right thing. And if he does something that I don't agree with, I'm going to have faith that he knows better than me, obviously. So
yeah,
I think he's a professional. I think he's, strategic, and he's playing chess, not checkers.
Yep.
And that's a fact.
And Lou, the minute that guy becomes a Jet, bro, I know you're going to be a big fan of him.
Without a doubt.
There's nothing to be sad about. I've said this
who is.
many years. Green Bean always laughs at me because I say to him, I don't give a shit if I'm right. I don't give a shit if you're right. And he always says, no, I care if I'm right. I need to be right. They need to listen to me. It doesn't matter if any of us are right or wrong. We need the Jets to be right.
So obviously, I'm just looking at the chat real quick, and everyone's saying they want to get rid of Brees, and that's why I asked you that question.
They think you want to get rid of Brees.
I'm going to tell you guys one more time for the last time before this draft. Brees doesn't want to be a Jet. He tells me the guys I was at dinner with last night were telling the story about how Brees told them he doesn't want to be a Jet. These guys are coming to the draft. They all know Brees. They're friends with Brees. They hang out with Brees. Doesn't want to be a Jet. He
Money
may be.
cures all, bro. Money cures all.
And you could get it from someone else, but we'll see. If he is a Jet, I'll be screaming very fucking loud for him. That's all I have to tell you.
You got the I Heart the Nick Shine Show T-shirt I sent you to wear in the pit when ESPN and the NFL draft is right there.
I did not get it.
Bastard.
You mailed it to me.
Johnny has it tattooed on his chest. Just have Johnny pick his shirt up.
They sent us the rules for the pit. You have to have jet gear only, like no brands, no nothing. You have like a liaison that like checks you out. It's crazy.
Yeah, you have to have, I think, NFL
some stuff
authentic gear.
They just said it has to. You cannot wear another team, obviously.
Yeah,
and you have to have all like jet attire only. And there's 14 seats. There's 25 people in that pit. As of now, it's me, Hulk Hands, Juicy Jet, Boy Green. We're working on getting Johnny Boy in. It's very complicated. And there's a few other guys we're meeting with. So we're going to meet at McFadden's at 12 o'clock. And then we're going to head on over. And I just can't wait. I just can't believe it.
Awesome. I'm excited for you, man.
Thank you. I'll be there representing every single person in this chat and all of us and just going crazy for the Jets, man. I just want to come out with really good players.
Awesome.
Want to win.
Well, we'll talk. I'll be on Friday night. So
yeah,
at some point, maybe you can call in.
Yeah, definitely.
From there, that would be great.
Yeah, definitely. 100%. And anyone going there, link up with us. Or if you know anyone, any Jet fan going to the draft, just connect them with me. Your Jets, you're family to me.
Hell yeah. I could speak for that. Before I even met Lou said, "Hey, I got a ticket. If you're going down to Miami, come sit with me. I got a ticket." I met Lou in the stadium, for the first time, after he gave me the ticket. So great time. Lou, I'm looking forward to it, man. And we will talk, I'm sure, quite often about the players, bro. Have a great time. And personal advice, do not drop anything around Johnny Boy. Do not drop anything. The guy was born horny. Be very, very careful.
I know. Everything he says is a sex reference.
Worse than me. Worse than me.
Damn, horny motherfucker.
Call me freaky down.
Perfect timing, Beast.
He's pointing and screaming at the camera, so he said, "Call me freaky."
Beast is my enforcer. I hired him as an enforcer. I'm going to hang up and you could check with him if that's true, but Beast is a year-round enforcer for me at this point. We worked out a deal.
Nice.
Later, guys.
All right, pal. We'll talk soon, man.
Away from the draft.
Later, buddy. You all right?
I know what you're gonna say to me next. Heads or tails?
Heads.
We got a winner. Ding 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 ding.
Next up, we got Rich. What's up, brother?
What's up, Nick?
How you doing?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're inside this week.
I don't know why it's not working. I'm gonna call back in. I can't hear.
Right? This fucking StreamYard thing has been fucking horrible. This StreamYard thing this app has been awful lately. But folks, while we got you here, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Appreciate all of you being here. Let's try Rich. Rich, we good?
Hey, what's going on, Nick? How's it going, man?
How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm excited for the draft. It's Thursday. It's my last day of my last clinical rotation until I graduate on Friday. So
Nice.
I've got a lot of excitement this week.
Awesome, man. Congratulations to you, bro. Thanks,
man. So I'm really hoping that the Devin Bailey hype is just smoke. I like him. I think he looks awesome, but I really want Arvel Reese. I've already said that. I don't really have that much new stuff to add. I'm just calling in to chat some ball. But I think we're likely going to go Cooper round one if I had to predict it. And I'm hoping I would really love to go guard at the top of round two. I think it'd be cool if we could trade back a few spots, but honestly, I wouldn't really want to trade back a ton because I think we could get a starting guard and really solidify the O-line and just have a really strong offensive unit going into next year's draft to get the quarterback. So
if you're a quarterback and another wide receiver away next year and you have these picks in round one, I'm quite content.
Yeah, me too. Me too, 100%. And the thing is, I think we could get a good receiver with our 16th overall pick. and or with our 33rd pick. But I think we could get a good guard at 33. So I'd be totally fine with going with a guy like Cooper or Lemon if he's there. I said it before. I don't want Jordan Tyson because the injuries really concern me a lot. I don't really want to trade up though. How do you feel about trading up for a receiver? I just don't think we need to.
I don't want to trade up for a receiver. If I'm trading up, I want to trade up for what I think is an immediate impact player like Styles or Downs.
Me
If I
too.
can get Reese
would do that.
and then get either Styles or Downs, I'm ecstatic. Like I will be doing cartwheels at the draft if we get both of those.
Yeah, I would do it for Styles. I'd be okay with it for Downs too. If it was 44, I'm okay with trading up. But I think we can get a good starter in that slot. And the thing is, with Garrett on the team, we don't need a number 1 star wide receiver. We need a number 2 guy. And I really like AD Mitchell. I think he's very underrated by our fan base. I think he's got a lot of
Agreed.
potential with a better
Oh,
QB.
agreed. He ran a lot of routes where he was open last year, and I think better quarterback play will make him look better than he showed this year. But with Garrett, I mean, this is something Black Gypsy and I were discussing earlier on the Addy show. I want to see Wilson in the slot more. You know, this is something that him and I have discussed many times. Wilson in the slot with another guy on the outside who commands the attention, like, say, a Jeremiah Smith next year or a Cam Coleman or if it were be Tyson this year. Now, these are guys who are really just next level, which would open Garrett up. And if you could take the attention off of Garrett, that makes Garrett that much better. Garrett isn't a put him out on an island and win guy all the time because he's not that physical. He's got to make these ridiculously spectacular catches, but I don't want that. I want the guy who can go up with 2 hands, pull that ball down, and continue to go, not who's got to do a crazy jump ball, Jordan like the type of catch.
Yeah, no, I
didn't
totally
say LeBron or Kobe. I said Jordan because I say the best all the
time. Yeah, I totally agree with you. I would love to get Garrett in the slot and have a guy like Carnell Tate on the outside or Jordan Tyson, but again, wouldn't go him because of the injuries. I think that would be sweet, but I don't think they need it. I think that there's enough value to be had with a good receiver at 16 where we don't have to reach, or I would love to trade back in the first round. And I don't think that's going to happen though, but like that'd be sweet.
You never know. Right?
Exactly.
You never know. If we go Reese and we go Cooper Jr., and now you say CJ Allen is fallen, or Caden McDonald is fallen, or one of the cornerbacks that Aaron Glenn could love, or if McNeil Warren, the safety's there, and they just don't want to take the chance, they could jump. And they have the arsenal to do it. And I wouldn't be mad at all if they jump up and get 3 first-rounders this year, 3 first-rounders next year. That's how you build an elite team, man. You get premium talent.
I'm more in the camp of trading back in with our second first round pick with 16 and going for a guy like that's falling than I would be trading up in the first, because I think that with the 33rd pick, you could have someone on the line that's willing to trade a lot depending on who falls. So I wouldn't want to trade up specifically for that reason to potentially trade back. I wouldn't really be trying to trade back with that 33rd pick. But like if the right offer comes in, I would be very open to it. And I think you could play some hardball and get some teams competing with each other, and maybe you can get a pretty sweet deal. So it'll be. I can't wait for that pick. That's gonna be fun.
You can take 16, slide back, get someone's second round pick, and now you have 3 2s. And you can take the 2 2s, not 33, the 2 2s, and then move back up into 1, and then come out with 2 picks in the 20s. So you can have two picks in the 20s and 33, and now have 4 of the top 33. And you maneuvered the board perfectly.
That'd be freaking sweet. Or even just trade back from 16 to like 19 or something and get a third. You know, that'd be pretty cool. I don't know if that's doable, but you know, it'd be pretty sweet.
It's
cool
all possible. When you have this draft capital, it's all possible. The possibilities are endless. And now it's just a matter of, do they have a guy that they say we have to have, or do they say we're okay falling back and playing the board because of the way we value it? That's the mystery. That's what we
Can't
don't
wait to
know,
see
and
it.
that's what we're going to find out Thursday and Friday.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see it. I just hope that they're not reaching for quarterback with Ty Simpson. Just please wait until next year. Let's make the move next year when there's more guys that we like. I wish we got Mendoza, man, but life
I
is
know.
good.
Me too.
Things are looking up, and I'm excited for the draft. So I'll call back and shoot some chat with you soon.
Yes, sir. Well, good luck to you this week, man. Congratulations on your hard work. I'm glad it's paid off. Friday
What's up,
night,
bro?
I'll be on. I don't know if you have festivities planned with what you got going on in the real world, but I'll be here.
I
Friday
got
night.
festivities. I'm watching the draft on the TV, and I'm gonna drink some beers and then celebrate after that. So yeah, I'll try to call in if you
Awesome.
will have me. Good talking to you, Nick.
Absolutely. Talk soon, man.
JETS, baby.
That's it.
Oh, now to give us this perfect announcement. What did we learn today, courtesy of the Nick Shine program?
He's great because you could just press play and he goes. Doesn't need a question. Doesn't need to know what you're thinking. Just hit the play button and he's off and running. Paul saying people sleeping on Surratt. Yeah, I think, listen, if you wait to 44 to go get a receiver, I think that's one of the guys that got to be in the mix at that point. Very interesting story about Zachariah Branch coming out of getting arrested for not getting out of the police officer's way. And it seems like a stupid story, man. I don't know if it was the cop just being overly assertive or if him just being a dick to be a dick. I'm sure NFL teams are all doing their due diligence to find out or look for footage to see what actually happened with this story. But I say this every year, it seems like. It's draft week. Lock yourself up in a fucking house and stay there. Don't do anything. Don't go anywhere. Don't get into a confrontation in traffic. This is the biggest week of your life. Agreed. From what I've read, Clancy, I agree. But the ideology of even putting yourself out there at risk, how does your agent not have you on lockdown, man? This is the biggest week of your life. You've done everything in the offseason, the workouts, the interviews, everything. And now you're going to be out and about on the street? Just, no. Lock this shit up so you don't get locked up. I get it, they're kids. But you should have a team around you saying, hey, in your best interest, man, we're going to lay low now. We got the rest of your life to celebrate, to go out, to live. Right now, any fuck up could cost you millions of dollars. Going at 35 and going at 205 because of character concerns is a millions of dollar difference. Millions of dollar difference. You want to live that good life? Don't fuck up this week. And you see it every single year. As always, ladies and gentlemen, if you compliment me and my looks in the chat, you will get your comment on air immediately. Thank you, Shearsy. Pleasure. Good day to you, mate. Chris B, ladies and gentlemen, I think our Jets are better served taking a wide receiver to fill our need at boundary receiver instead of a tight end who can play in the slot, something Garrett is more than capable of doing. Agreed. Agreed, Chris. I'm not mad if we get Sadiq, though. I will say that. David says, do you think that Clemson D-tackle Peter Woods is a realistic possibility for the Jets with pick 33? Thinking that we take Reese and Cooper with our first two picks. I think Woods can be in play. I think Caleb Banks can be in play still. I don't think McDonald gets out of round one. I think that the Jets are going to have a lot of phone calls, and I think with the amount of needs that we have, is Chase Besantis there? Is the cornerback. Oh man, Colton Hood. Is Christian Miller there? Chris Johnson, the cornerback. Zion Young, Chase DeSantis, Anthony Hill Jr., Jacob Rodriguez, C.J. Allen, D'Angelo Pons. There's a lot of guys. Yeah, Hunter's another one. Hunter's another guy. These are all guys that can fit in immediately and help this team. Emmanuel McNeil-Warren. You know, for me, McNeil-Warren, McDonald, and C.J. Allen are worth trading up for. It's you can sit and pick, or you can be aggressive, and I don't see a problem with either one. But just hit. That's the most important thing. David, I tagged this comment earlier. You said, Nick, you asked me the other day about my Lions preference for pick 17. Vega has moved up to my number 2 choice, only behind Maui Noah. I'm not counting players with particularly no chance being there. Yeah, I think Maui Noah could go as early as 6 to the Browns or to you guys or anywhere in between. The Dolphins could take him, the Ravens. Don't sleep on the Rams going offensive lineman and maybe trying to get a receiver later. But there's a lot of options. Oh, where'd you go? All right. Next up. Showdown.
All right.
What's up, Smokey?
Chilling. So I have a question for you. Who is the tallest receiver in the draft?
Is it Chris Brazel?
Is it? I'm asking you. I don't know.
Is it him or is it Hurst from Georgia State? Hold on. Let me do some homework.
How tall was Megatron?
6'4", 3/4.
Like what we were talking about earlier in the Addy show is really what like a Frank Reich offense.
6'5".
6'5".
6'5", 236.
Give me the big dude. Give me the biggest, tallest dude you can get out there. Give me Garrett in the middle, playing a slot, and give me 80 playing the 3. Like, I'll take that every day. I don't understand people's hang up on Sadiq. Like, because he says tight end on his name. I don't care if it says tight end. I'll take him and use him as a receiver. And then if I want to, I'll throw him in tight end plays to do run plays. Like, I'll just throw him in there to throw him in there. Like, a tight end that's a receiver. Think of how Kelsey plays, right? Imagine we have that where Gino's rolling out and you have a guy that can come back to the ball. Like, Sadiq will do that. He doesn't run, like, great routes, but he does come back to the ball. Like, he has that instinct to help his quarterback out. So, we kind of need that.
Yeah. A couple updates for you on your question. Malachi Fields is 6'4.5". Hurst is 6'4", according to Tankathon. Mike said Hurst 6'5". Boston is 6'3.5". Seems to be the biggest guy so far. Jacoby Lane is 6'4.5".
And Sadiq is 6'5", right?
Man, what do you not have the internet?
Yeah, I didn't look at any of this stuff.
I feel like I'm in the library. Sadiq is 6'3".
Oh, 6'3". All right. Yeah, then maybe Hurst. I just want somebody to be on an island to throw the ball on those out routes. Like, we haven't been able to do that for a long time. Just throw out routes and comebacks. One guy on an island, like 2 defenders trying to stop him, a safety and a cornerback. You're gonna have to pick to go over there. Like, it's been a long time. Braylon Edwards, Brandon Marshall, like those dudes that can separate. Like, even if they can't separate, it's throwing the ball up there and see if you can go get it. I mean,
yeah. I mean, yes, I would prefer in this day and era more well-rounded wide receivers, guys who can do it all, guys who can I mean, this seems to be the generation of guys who are quick-footed. That's why you see so many smaller guys coming in ready to go because of their hips and their shiftiness and how quick they are. You know, right now the value seems to be guys who can make quick cuts and get open and create separation that way.
And
But
that's
then the
Tate.
guy who has the big body and just throw him the ball and hope he's big enough and broad enough to pull it in. You know,
And
the days of the Brandon Marshall, the Anquan Bolden, Braylon Edwards, Megatron seem to be gone. Andre Johnson as well. Those guys don't seem to be the top of the league wide receivers anymore. It seems to be the quicker footed guys who can just embarrass you route running.
It's safer to throw an out route than it is to throw a slant or a drag route.
Well, it depends who's throwing the route. It depends who's running the route.
It's safer to throw an out route because where an out route ends up is out of bounds when the receiver's pulling it in.
Yeah, but you see a lot of pick sixes on poorly timed and out routes
on bad throws. If you throw it bad, you throw it bad. But
you can jump the route too.
You can jump the route, but if you have a good quarterback, he drops it down. Those out routes that the Brady used to do it all the time. You just drop it down in his hands. So he's here where he's supposed to be, then he's one step out of bounds. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but think of the last time that we've seen that. Think of the last time that we've seen that. Like, where we had a one-on-one guy that can go get an out route. Like, we try to do that with Garrett and put him in positions where
Garrett
he's
can still
going to
do
get
it. He just needs a quarterback to put the fucking ball where it needs to be.
But you're putting him in positions to get him hurt because everybody
on an out route. Out route is safe. If you hit the out route perfectly, you toe tap and you're out of bounds. No hit.
Who else is on the team they're going to throw the ball to?
Oh no, I'm not saying we don't need more help, but you can use Garrett, who's a threat to get upfield and in, and then cut him out. You know, we saw it at the end of the Tampa game last year when he got hurt. We mentioned it earlier because he had a contort and twist. He was so wide open on that out route at the end of the Tampa game on the third down throw.
He had to slow down and come back to it, basically.
And then he got his knee caught up.
Yeah, a couple of times. On the play before that, he was running, and then they missed him. So he literally, like, from full speed to try and slow down to catch it, kind of hurt himself. And then the play after is where he finished it up. Because we need a big dude. Like, we need a big guy that can block.
I don't think we just need height, though. I think we need a guy who's well-rounded. I would take a 6'3.5" guy who can run better routes than a guy who's 6'5" just because he's 6'5".
Sneak routes are great.
The beauty in composing a team and putting players together is finding guys that complement one another and can fit into your scheme. We don't know the scheme that they want to run. Now, we know what Frank Reich has run in the past, but we don't know if with sitting with Aaron Glenn and with Musgrave is the QB coach. Right, Bill Musgrave?
So, yeah.
We don't know if they've kind of compiled what they want to do and how are they going to – we don't know, right? We don't know what they're looking for. We don't know. We have ideas of how they should utilize Garrett, but we don't know exactly what they're going to do. And Seth Ryan, of course, will be the passing game coordinator. Thank you, Clancy. There's so many questions about the coaching staff. I think the draft will give us a better idea on how they want to put this scheme together defensively and how they want to put this arsenal together offensively.
We put Garrett back out as the one we're going to get him hurt again.
You're going to move him around. Like, he's never going to not play outside, and he's not going to be 100% slot. You know, there's times where Corbett was out wide. You know, there's different formations and different alignments.
You can motion him. The reason why I want Garrett in the slot is I want to use Garrett the way the Dolphins use Tyreek. Like, the motions that they used with Tyreek caught him while running. It wasn't he stopped and then the ball was hut. He was running when the ball is hut. He's in motion already. Yeah. Garrett in motion.
I agree with
his
that.
Cut is unbelievable.
I agree with that.
Like, everybody else,
but it's not going to be 100% of the time. Like,
it needs to be. It needs to be.
You're not going to see him in motion 100% of the time.
If you're running motion every time, you have a dedicated defender to you. Like, you have the whole point of why McDaniels is so good is he thinks in defensive terms on offense. Like, he gets somebody to move to clear out a spot. Because a lot of times what the motion will do is clear out a spot where he wants to go to with his tight end or his other receiver. And he gets attention on Tyree. We can do the same thing, dog. Like we get Garrett to be Garrett. You get the maximum value of him other than putting him out by himself on an island where people can key in on him. So if a pass is off at all, he's gonna get hurt. Like putting him as number one right now is hospital. It's hot. Okay.
I can't agree with that. I
It's
can't agree with that
hospital,
because
bro.
we've seen Garrett not get hurt, make it, spectacular catches. The Bills opener, the game Rodgers got hurt and Zach threw a horrible ball to the corner against White and he tapped it up to himself and came down with it. The one-handed catch in the end zone against Houston. You know, he's
Yeah,
made
but
more of those plays than he's
every day. Well, we need him to where he just
get it.
runs a route and catches the ball.
Dude, I'm not going to argue with you that we need better quarterback play. Agreed.
Man.
But I'm not going to pigeonhole him and say he's just going to be a slot. They're going to move him around. They're going to go with the matchups. If you have a second cornerback on a team that is weak, you're going to try to get Garrett lined up with that guy as much as possible because he can embarrass him with moves in and out. You want Garrett on a guy who can spin like a top time and time again.
We want Garrett going up against the middle linebacker coming across where he's beating him. You want to put Garrett in.
But wait,
in
you're talking
advantage.
about Garrett not getting hurt running an out route, but you want him against the middle linebacker?
I
Where he
want
can
him
get his
to-
head taken off?
He's gonna beat him. He's gonna beat him to the spot.
Not every time. You're putting yourself out there for a
He's
big
gonna
hit.
if you have somebody on the outside, and we already have Mason, you have to pull. So that middle linebacker has to pick who he's going to take. Is he going to take Garrett coming across, or is he going to take that tight end? If we have him in motion, the middle linebacker is always going to be a step
middle
behind.
linebacker. I'm hoping I could tee off on your best.
You're
player
hoping you
coming
can
across
catch.
the middle.
So think of how many times Tyreek didn't get hit across the middle. Why? Because of the motion they put him in, dog. Like it's simple, and this is the stuff that the old coaches don't do. They play a basicer game, so you're not gonna. If I see Garrett on the outside this year, I'm gonna lose my shit. Like, well, you have a dude.
Prepare to lose it. Like he's not going to be outside all of the time, but he's not going to be inside all the time. He's Kyle Clifton, baby, at wide receiver. Hold on, this guy, calm down. Gypsy is right. Garrett doesn't have it against some matchups. We need a legit 1A. Jared, I'm the one who's been saying for 2 years Garrett is not a 1A, but I'm saying that you can't just say Garrett is primarily going to be slot. There's going to be formations where Garrett might be your only wide receiver out there because you're running too tight with two running backs. There's going to be times where Garrett is outside. That's all I'm saying. I agree. We need an upgrade across from Garrett or next to Garrett. But please don't think that I'm disagreeing with the adding a better wide receiver. It's just whether he's going to be primarily a slot or not. That's the only part we're disagreeing with.
All right, I want him to use him like how they use JSN, basically. I want to put him in situations where he's happy to get the ball, like where he's not going to get destroyed. And most times that's going to be from the slot.
Yeah, if you put him in the slot and you have someone who runs a slant and you know you're in man, the outside runs a slant and he does a post corner and you can get that there in time and you can shorten and flatten out the route before the safety can get there, that's what you want Garrett doing.
He's clean, man. Like he's twitchy. He moves right. Like
yeah. And then if you run that one time and then you hit a shoulder twitch and then he turns it upfield past the safety, boom, home run.
But you need that big guy on the outside. You need that draw attention dude on the outside.
Agreed.
I mean,
I think Mitchell's fast enough to warrant that attention, but you absolutely need another guy.
Mitchell has to be in stride. If he has to adjust to the ball, the way he attacks the ball in the air is weird. Like if you catch him in stride, though.
Also, the guys that were throwing him the ball last year were weird.
Was trash. So yeah,
they were weird too.
So we'll see. Yeah, man. Redemption Jets, though. Redemption Jets. That's all I got. I'm happy for the draft. I'm not doing shit. I'm working. Man.
Yeah.
Always working. Always got something to build. So
all right.
I'll be paying attention to it. See who we get. See what everybody's reaction is to who we get. Because then the second we get them, the next conversation, which is my conversation that I'm waiting for, is coaching. How are these players going to be used? And then we get to bring back evidence of what they've done for the last couple of years and what they're known to do. versus what's going on now in the NFL, and we can see the massive difference in the gap. And I have my
You know what you
argument.
are? You're the
I have my,
ultimate pessimist. You're like, oh, people could be like, oh, it's a beautiful sunny day. Be like, but 7 states away, there's a fucking storm coming.
it's not being pessimist, dog. It's just I think everybody hates that I point out the fact of something, like the fact of what we got bottom barrel. We got bottom barrel, and like okay, just admit we got bottom of the barrel. Like the coaches that we have are bottom of the barrel coaches. Like it's not good coaches. Like that's what we have. So
Well, then we root for Mucci to just up the talent on the team.
that's
it. That's
redemption Jets, bro.
And if
Everybody,
they can't pull together as a coaching staff, the next coaching staff is coming in with the Colts pick being top 3, right? Because they lost fucking 7 in a row and they don't have an answer at quarterback. Jones is going to be out. Richardson hasn't shown the ability to make plays.
closer was here.
Is Richardson even there anymore? I think
so.
This is his 4th year.
Yeah, he's still there.
That's going to be their quarterback to start, Richardson and then Jones. All right. So the Colts will have a top 3, top 5 pick at worst. I'm good.
It's going to be good. Good time. I can't wait for the draft, bro.
Talent, man. Just load up the fucking talent and go from there.
Yeah, I'm happy for the draft to finally be here. It needs to be shorter. This wait is too much. The
idea is you play until February and then you draft in April. Your season doesn't end by Halloween. That's why the draft is too long, because our season is ended.
You said play till February. That was funny, dog. That's crazy.
Well, that's the goal, right? Like the goal is to fucking pick at the end of the first round. And when people say, who are you going to draft? Like, I don't fucking care. Who cares about a mock draft? There's 31 guys going before us.
You guys are way ahead, man. Like the goal was visible for a flashing second when Aaron Rodgers ran out with that flag. That's when the goal of like playing football actually kind of mattered for us for first time in a long time. Now our new goal is, let's get an interception. Let's complete passes.
Slow the fuck down, bro. Put some brakes on the fucking golf cart you're building, all right? Put a fucking extra pair of brake lines on that motherfucker. Slow down, buddy.
Let's get sacks, make passes, running yards. Like, let's block people. Like, it's crazy the things that we're going to try and do this year. So it should be a good time.
This message by the Nick Shine Show is that drugs are bad. But I'll be on Friday night. Pop in, all right?
All right, we'll do, man.
All right. I'll talk to you soon.
Yes, sir.
Peace. All right, folks. We've come to the end of the program. Appreciate all of you for being here tonight. If you haven't already, hit the like button. If you have not, subscribe to this channel. I apologize for any of you who left the show to run to Google to find out what an interception is. Please accept my apologies. I hope you come back like Paul did. But it's that time. Again, don't forget, we do have a raffle going off in May. I haven't figured out the date yet. But any raffles on a Sunday night, gifted memberships, super chats, $5 and up. Raffle entries are doubled on Sundays. Don't forget also one more reminder before we get into the end that there is a draft party this Thursday night at the Woodbridge Brewing Company in Woodbridge, New Jersey. Let me know if you're coming. I put in a reservation for tables for 25. If I need more, I'd like to let them know as soon as possible. I put the deposit down today for the group. So I have about 25 coming. If there's more people that are coming that haven't informed me yet, please do so. If you're in the Discord, reply to the event. Let me know that you're in. But we have a Curtis Martin helmet, Curtis Martin football, forgive me, Don Maynard photo, Vinny Testaverde mini helmet, and a Chad Pennington mini helmet. You do not need to be in person to win. And you enter on the bottom of the screen right there. Entries, $10 an entry, $25 get you 3 entries. And I plan on doing them around picks 5, 10, 15, and 20, unless the Jets maneuver and things get crazy. But all 4 will be raffled off Thursday night. And I know Beast was a little early with it before, so we will kick it here. Also, we didn't get to use our Tommy chant tonight. 5 channel memberships gets us a Tommy chant.
Now let's go to What Did We Learn Today, courtesy of Nick Shine.
Ladies and gentlemen, Black Gypsy just gave Chris B emojis. Chris B back in the emoji game. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle the fuck up. Chris B is about to go nuclear. Chris B about to tear this bitch up. Sorry, forgive me. Chris loves his emojis, and if you're in the chat, you will see that momentarily. Thank you, Black Gypsy. And now, what did we learn? Folks, again, drop your what did we learns. Maybe it was something I said, Paul said, one of the callers, something you saw in the chat. I learned that Brock Lesnar retired today. I got that text message from Johnny Boy earlier. I learned that Brock lost at WrestleMania and left the boots in the ring. Usually the signal for I want a bigger payday or I'm retiring. And look at that, ladies and gentlemen. David D., one of our resident Detroit Lions fans, just gifted 5. Thank you, David. You're the best. It went to Denetter Randall, Vegas Nick, Bill Sprague, Brady Strong, and Jess E. Thank you, Dave. And you know what that means. You know what we play when we get 5 round here, folks. Thank you, David.
Here we go, baby. J-E-T-S, Jets, 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 let's go, baby.
Gone too soon. Motherfucker. I like that we honor Tommy, but it breaks my heart that he's gone too soon. All right, folks. I'm scanning the chat, looking for what did we learns. Drop your what did we learns. Big Islander fan. Us Jets fans after this season are not familiar with the forward pass. Our passing game put football 120 years before the forward pass was legal. Black Gypsy, I learned Garrett needs to be the slot. Some guy named Gypsy said it might be a good idea. That's fair. You're the man, David. And if you were wondering what all the emojis on the channel look like, this Nick Shine Show emoji commercial was brought to you by Chris B. Chris, welcome back. Enjoy the next 30 days, my friend. Hopefully we give you lots of content here. So the schedule for this week, I will be on Tuesday night around 9 p.m. with Dom C, working on something for Wednesday. Thursday during the day, I will be on. Friday night, I will be on. So a lot of content this week. Saturday, I'm not sure yet. I'll probably do a draft recap Saturday night or just wait for Sunday. I got to see how much I'm working this weekend with the sports rec. So I appreciate everybody for being here. I don't see any more what did we learns. If that's the case, it's time to wrap this bad boy up. And thank you all for watching. Thank you to everyone. Membership 50. David gifted 1. David gifted 5. So I'll gift 1. Oh, hold on. We got one. I see it. Mine went to Grove Pete. Hawks learned that nothing surprises me anymore regarding the draft. Something always happens that can affect the team's pick. This is where your GM earns his money. 100%. 100%. And we can prognosticate, we can guess, we can mock all we want. Not a single mock had Will McDonald being the pick in 23. Not a single Patriots fan had Cole Strange being the pick for them. Is that the same year? Maybe the year before? I forget. But you don't know. You don't know how it's going to play out. You don't know how one pick will affect the position to need it the next one. Just build a good team. Put the building blocks in place. That's the most important thing that this team can do. And we'll be back Tuesday night with Dom, trying to see if we get some more guests together. Dylan can't make it Tuesday. And Dom can't make it Wednesday. So I got to talk to Buffalo Jet fans, see what night he can make it, and try to get you guys one final overall mock with every team between 1 and 44. So if not, me and Dom will just do it alternating on Tuesday night. So, folks, I appreciate you all for being here. Thank you for supporting the Nick Shine Show. You guys are the best. God bless. Have a good night. And let's go out with... Let's go out with what we came in with. Well, Charles will be at the draft party Thursday.
Hey, all you shiners, it's time for something cool. I'm here to do my part. I'll drop a stinky fart. No chicken soup for you. I'm gonna eat it up. And then I'll do a show and talk about the Green Hornet. I got a new laptop. You know it doesn't suck. I'll need to keep it down when I'm making too much noise. My mom will pull the plug and Dennis smack my ass, and that will surely blow. Hey, fuckers, it's time for the Nick Shine Show.
Nick's got beef.
Gentry covered in bumbo. Any day, any night, we all shine, bro. First class shine time, the Nick Shine Show. Anytime on YouTube, if you don't know, the Nick Shine Show, the Nick Shine Show. Dim the lights, but it's still bright as Nick time. Day or night, this is his prime, it's Nick Shine. Proud fan, well defined, to get in line. Toe to toe with any show, he only got 9. The best show on YouTube, bro, is easy. We talk Jets all day, please believe me. Subscribe, you just gotta click a family. We not a click in 3D. You can see a beautiful DP. We see through the fake teams and the tea leaves. So we pray for a coach and a QB and hope that we close to the top in the new league. A toast to the host with the most, Nicky. Who, me? Any day, any night, we all shine, bro. First class shine time, the Nick Shine Show. Anytime on YouTube, if you don't know, the Nick Shine Show, the Nick Shine Show.
Fantastic.
Great job, Clancy. That's moderator behavior. Welcome back with your wrench, my friend, or your shield, whatever the fuck YouTube says. Folks, there's a request from Yeti in the chat. Baby Blitz, and then we're out this piece. Good night. Also, Chad Pennington, baby. New addition. Come on. We got a little Chad Pennington here. I'll try to turn it down so the glare doesn't hit it. New addition to the wall. Chad Pennington. Get on there, bitch. All right, everyone. Baby Blitz, and then we're out. Good evening, everyone. Normally, this is the part where I go into a monologue about the Jets. I got to address something first. There's been some shit talk out there about this program. Don't talk shit about my family. They're my family.
And this just in, you can go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Get ready for this new showdown. I call it the anytime, any day throwdown. Nick Shine, kill these clowns till they make no sound. They lose weight, we feel great when we burn these pounds. We all know that jet green make the earth go round. Another rookie head coach, another first go round. We bleed green, each fiend hope this team win now. And twist dreams in the DP when my beats are found. Shiners unite, knock the lights out of midnight. We go show for show, goon for goon. We can fist fight, I rip mics. Clemens and Williams, all the dislikes. Bunch of Jets rappers out there, they ain't this nice. I did this twice. Got a sick addiction, so the green and white's my vice. I gave it blood, sweat, and tears. Yeah, I paid my price. Many years on the flight, no prescription, but I need a championship in my life. Yo,
For as long as I'm alive, I got your back.